Yeah, how you folks doing? This is Rudy with Rudy's Restaurant. By the way, that's not the real name of our restaurant. But I'm not going to tell you what the real name is because I'm not trying to get more sales. Uh, some people are will give you a bad review that's never been here before. It's happened. Okay, so instead of playing that game, risking our quality and not quality, but our reputation, you won't know the name of our restaurant. But we are in Montana. Where in Montana? I ain't going to tell you. But anyways, I'll give a little short story of how all this came about. My wife and I have been in business going on 12 years. And uh, the reason why we started this is because we were getting really old. And I had to find a way to work in my senior years and still make money without breaking my back. And so, anyway, my wife and I decided to do a food truck. Oh, excuse me, let me rephrase that food trailer. A truck has a motor in it, okay? It's not a truck, it's a trailer. It's a 20 footer. But, anyways, so we actually was trying to think of what we're going to do, what we're going to cook. And I have no cooking experience as far as just life in general. My wife, same thing. Uh, for me, I've been all over the world. I'm from Hawaii originally. And so there's multicultures there. So I know what tastes good and what tastes like poopy. Um, been to Europe. I was in Germany for about 12 years, and I've been to different countries out there, and I know what tastes good. I like a lot of the European gravies. They're very good, especially the Germans. But anyways, so we actually practiced, came up with chicken fried steak, and we we wanted to be Midwestern cooking, like home cooking. Nothing fancy, no olives in your salad, stuff like that. Okay. Some lady goes, "Can I have some Grey Poupon?" And I told her, "No, really." But anyways, they only have it once. So we actually practiced our menu. We came up with the menu and practiced it. Our core menu. It changed. Our core was chicken fried steak, ribs, and stuff like that. It's pretty much those items stayed the same as far as us having it available to for the customers. Everything else deviated a little bit left and right. So anyway, we practiced that menu for about 2 years. Yeah, 2 years, and we're putting money away. And I sold my motorcycle. I rode a motorcycle for 40 years. Sold that. Oh, why'd you sell your bike? I see some guys are, dude. I would never sell my bike. Look, I was in my 50s, late 50s. I started losing my skills. Okay, my wife would ride in the back, so I wasn't only responsible for my own safety, but responsible for my wife's safety. So, being realistic, I said, "Now my riding days are over." And and I wouldn't have no time to ride, even if I kept it, because we're too busy with the restaurant. So, I sold my motorcycle, sold the RV, and my father-in-law, who just passed away, thank you, Dad. He gave us a little bit of money, not a whole bunch, but enough to really help out. And between all that, we were able to buy a 24-foot trailer, and it was big enough. It was a hauler. You can actually haul vehicles in it. So the one we have now, the same thing, but it's just shorter. But it was perfect, exactly what we need. So, so we got the trailer, and it was 4th of July. My wife and I just come back from being coming out of the mountains, doing some riding around with all the free time we didn't have. But came back and I had a little fire pit going and had all the fireworks, out in front of the yard. Had my dog with me, my little German Shepherd, and all of a sudden I hear this truck coming at full throttle. I look over to my right, and this guy's at full throttle pickup truck hits my horse trailer knocks it about 20 feet from where it was, wiped out my front fencing. Oh, I'm not done yet. Then he hits this brand new 24-foot trailer. It still had temporary tags on it. Yeah, my buddy. Anyways, um, he did that, and then when he hit the trailer, guess what the trailer hit? It hit my wife's truck. It wasn't my truck. It was my truck, right? Hit my truck, and then my truck hit my wife's truck. The reason I had a 3/4 ton dually. It was in the shop. It would have been parked right. He would have wiped out all my vehicles. Anyways, from the money from that, well, I got to tell you a little bit of that story. He was drunk driver. When he turned off his engine, I said, "Do you have a gun? Do you have a gun in your vehicle?" He said, "No." I said, "Good," because I was packing a 45 ACP. But that's Montana. Sometimes you'll see me carrying a weapon. You may see my weapon when I'm working. My wife carries, I carry. We carry in the open. My wife carries concealed. I carry concealed or in the open sometimes. Whatever I feel like, it's my business. But anyways, uh, he was found guilty, and eventually his insurance paid us off for all the damages. Anyways, that helped a lot on getting our trailer, to getting equipment. So it took advantage of it. So, okay, use all this money we used for this, and I lost a truck over it. But anyways, um, so we took that money and finished off the trailer. We've got stainless steel, the inside stainless steel. It's got 12 burners, gas burners, 12, two stoves, two ovens. We've got deep fryers. We've got 6 or 8. I can't remember. I can't keep track of it. Pressure cookers. We've got 3 warmers to warm up food. Each one has three different compartments. We got 5 sinks. I can go on. It's crowded. It's very crowded. But anyway, so that's how we got the kitchen done. We got it all done. Came with a high price, but after once we got licensed, they had to go through the health department, and they came in and looked at looked at our menu. We applied for it. They have a little meeting, and they go like, "Well, this guy's intense, man. We got to check this guy out good." So, because the meats that we were cooking, the inspector walks in the kitchen. She basically went, "Damn!" I mean, it's nice. It's really nice. We had an A+ rating from the day we opened. I had to go through the fire marshal and all this other stuff. It wasn't it wasn't that bad. So we went. What we did was we this dining room, and we have a gazebo too, a big gazebo, and the kitchen's all on our property, which our house is like 100 feet away, maybe 100 yards max from all of this. So it's on our property. So when we pay our mortgage, we're also paying for the mortgage for whatever cost is for it covers our mortgage covers everything here. Everything that we got is paid for except the house and my new truck. But so we went mobile. We went went to this place, did this, went to this place, did that. I didn't care for it. I mean, it was hard work. With the work, that wasn't the problem. The problem is the cash flow was okay, but there was no consistency in where you could find me where I was going to be at. So we decided. I've already had the property set up to where we could actually be here. That's what we wanted initially. So I did the plumbing and everything else, and power, and it's a lot of stuff to do. But once you go mobile, you need a generator. I had 2, and they were heavy. And to get it on and off, I had to call a friend of mine to help me out because it was just freaking heavy. But now so we went about 6 months, maybe 8 months. We went mobile, and still opened here in our property, it shows inconsistency. And we did okay. Now you got to change oil in your truck. You got to You got to change oil on your generators. You got to check your tire pressures on your dual axle on your kitchen. I can go on. A lot of maintenance that has to happen. But so eventually, we stopped. I stopped doing that. My wife was working a full. She was working two jobs. Let me say it again. The wife was working two jobs, and I was working with our restaurant full time. I mean, everything. Now I'm going to ask my wife a question, and hopefully she'll answer it correctly. Gina,
Yes.
what's a lazy wife in Montana?
I was just getting ready to say that. That's so funny. What do you call a woman with one job in Montana?
Lazy.
Lazy.
Yeah, she's my memory bank. I can't remember squat anymore. But my wife's in her not mid 60s. She's in her early 60s. I'm in my early 70s. And this is not easy. I mean, I'm going to sit there, oh, my back hurts. Yeah, it does sometimes. My wife, she has some pains on her knee, and it's the way it is. So if you sit back and say, "Oh, I'm too old to do that," wah, you're never too old. Okay, we didn't start. I was almost 60. Is that right? Yeah, I was 58 or 59 when we started. And I could still bench press Montana at that age, but now it's like, please. But anyways, so we stayed here. And my wife worked two jobs. Actually, she worked three jobs because she did the prepping for the baked beans and cornbread. She made all that before she went to work. Then her days off, she worked on with me on the kitchen. She worked 7 days a week. So did I. We were putting in averaging about 100 hours each a week working. 100 hours a week. That's 200 hours a week. And we we got paid like what $3 or $4 an hour. We figured it out. It's stupid, but anyways, that's what it takes. It's a sacrifice. We're still paying our bills and stuff, and so after a bunch of years, me operating this by myself, 7 years, right? Yeah, my wife goes like 7 years, Dad. um, my wife, my wife finally quit her jobs, and was working with me full time. And it's always a risk when you do that. Yeah, I'm sweating. Hat's hot. If I can put my hat down, how does that sound? The beautiful thing about being bald, I never have a bad hair day. Ta-da-da, but anyways, so once she started working with me full time, it just changed dramatically because I'm not a people person. I'm not. I'm very brash, right to the point, and I won't take your crap. I just don't. Um, she's more politically correct. And I'm not. I'm far from it. But so she meets and greets, and she serves them the food, and I'm in the kitchen, cussing and swearing like, what idiot ordered this? Yeah, that's what chefs do. And then when it's all done, all said and done, all the people are fed, and I make sure I hug a tree and sing kumbaya. Then I come into the dining room. I simply say, "Is everybody happy?" And they all go, "Yes." I said, "I guess I'm done here." And I just walk out the door, sit down on the deck somewhere and smoke a cigarette going, yeah, yeah. But my wife takes care of everything with the customers. Once in a while, she gets overwhelmed. We get 40, 30 people in here. Inside here, we hold 15 people. Outside, we hold about 25. And when it starts getting filled up like that, she can't. It's hard for her to keep up with everything, especially when most of them come in at the same time. So what happens? She takes care of the people inside here and the people outside. Okay. And when she goes, I'm overwhelmed. Relax. I'll take her outside. This is how I take care outside. I cook it, walk up to the table because she tells me the table number and everything. Got her on computer. All right, who got the chicken fried steak? Here you go. Who's got this? Here you go. There you go. If you need anything, check with her. And I go back in the kitchen because I'm cooking. So it took a long time for us to actually start making money. Now we're not rich, but actually, to show a profit and a good profit. The reason why we're doing so well, but it came at a high price, is that we don't have employees. Don't have any employees. Do you know why? The biggest expense in a restaurant or in business in general is labor. Okay, the average we don't, and of course we don't have a restaurant like brick and mortar restaurant out in the middle of town. It's at our house, so we don't have that additional expense, and so we can, when things are slow, we can absorb it. Okay, because we don't have the expenses. The reason why a lot of restaurants go out of business is because they're not making any money. The average the average it's what was the number? It's between 1 and 15% profit margin is what the restaurants make. Now these are restaurants that, as a general rule, have employees. We make between 27 and 32%, around there somewhere, because we don't have the labor cost. Can you imagine paying someone $15 or $20 an hour? Are you kidding me? No way. So if you want to make it in any business, I shouldn't say any business because I don't know everything about every business, but I can tell you about right now in the restaurant business, it has to be family run. Mom and pop, maybe a kid or two, but it has to be family run. And you can't spend $4,000 a month on a brick and mortar restaurant. That's a lot of money, and that's why your profit margin is so low. And that's my wife. There was at times we just were just so busy. Literally, she goes, "You want to shut down at, say we close at 8 o'clock. At 6:30, we've already done $2,000 or close to $3,000." And she go like, "Oh man, I'm tired." So am I. She goes, "Want to shut down?" Hell no. Let's keep going. But I have to admit, 3 times in 11, 12 years, I was working by myself. I shut down an hour, one time 2 hours early. Why? I was doing it all by myself. I had a meet and greet with my great personality, and I had to serve them, cook, and then serve them. I was so busy. I had people coming up to the kitchen going, "I left the money on the table," because I couldn't collect. I was so busy. But anyways, so it's challenging. It's very challenging. But we don't like what we do. We love what we do. Do you know why? I answer to no one. Sometimes I've got to answer to a wife, but not every time. But anyways, we'll have the freedom of making our own choices and our own destiny. And I can't think of anything else. What else is there? Is there anything else? Right now, it's still technically winter. But you go like, wait a minute, didn't he start with the coveralls on this other thing? Anyways, it's, in fact, right now we got to go and do some work out in the property and clean up the area and make sure everything's ready for summer. Summer's coming. It's coming fast. It's going to be busy, hopefully. Anyways, that's part of the story of how we started. And if I'm missing anything, my wife will yell and say, "Hey, dude, just remember this." But anyways, oh, by the way, you will meet our German Shepherd. Not right now. His name is Bubba. Bubba. We picked him out when he was 2 days old from a breeder. And now he's 9 months old and 100 pounds. Good dog. But anyways, that's it for now. Control your destiny, or someone else will. Have a nice day.